This video is brought to you by Shudder. Summer is over, there's a chill in the air, and the spooky season has arrived, so it's time to watch some scary movies. There's no better place for horror than Shudder, which has kicked off its annual 61 Days of Halloween, a 2-month supersized celebration full of new movies and television shows, like the new season of Creepshow from executive producer Greg Nicotero of The Walking Dead, and VHS 94, the brand new installment in the amazing found footage anthology series.
Could be no one left alive in here.
I've been amazed by Shudder's expertly curated collection of movies, television shows, and documentaries. Whether you're stifling for a revenge, want some sci-fi escapism, a creature feature, supernatural horror, or cultist terror, Shudder has you covered. With titles like Vicious Fun, The Mortuary Collection, Psycho Gorman, Martyr's Lane, and the new docuseries Behind the Monsters on the origins and pop culture dominance of our favorite modern movie monsters, you will never run out of ways to scare yourself. For only $5.99 a month or $56.99 a year, you'll have instant access to the largest, fastest growing curated selection of thrilling and dangerous entertainment on all major devices. Get started streaming the best horror, thriller, and supernatural content in time for Halloween. To try Shudder for free for 30 days, go to shudder.com, that's SHUDDER, and use the promo code FCE. Co-written and directed by James Wan, Malignant is a wild supernatural thriller that mashes elements of campy comedy with the director's signature creepy style, resulting in a perplexing tale that is bloody, goofy, and at times baffling.
It's time we cut out the cancer.
The movie follows a soon-to-be mother named Madison who begins to experience waking nightmares of a powerful figure named Gabriel, an entity that is a mixture of congenital disorders and supernatural forces, who commits brutal murders. In the film, he's described as a teratoma, an incredibly rare type of tumor formed from reproductive germ cells that is attached to a child named Emily May. Prior to the attempted surgical removal of Gabriel at the Simeon Research Hospital, he appeared as a small, withering mass on Emily's back with 2 feeble arms, a ribcage, and an independent deformed face. Scientifically known as craniofacial duplication, Gabriel's face is an extension of Emily's, but shares elements of an even rarer disorder called craniopagus parasiticus, where the parasitic twin and the developed twin share the same skull structure. Because they share the same brain, Gabriel begins to hijack Madison's body and use it for evil, leading to Emily calling him the devil. While manageable in the early stages of Emily's life, he eventually grows in power, having fed off her vital nutrients to survive over the years. Dr. Weaver and her staff remove most of Gabriel, but are forced to leave part of his face intact, worried that brain matter removal would kill her. Instead, they decide to shove the remnants of Gabriel into Emily's skull, resulting in a mostly successful operation. After a few months of therapy, Emily is adopted, and her name is changed to Madison. Though she moves on with her life with no memory of her childhood, as an adult, Madison's pregnancies consistently result in miscarriages, with Gabriel siphoning nutrients from the fetuses.
Madison's not home.
Madison, he killed your babies! He was the cause of your miscarriages! He was feeding off of your fetuses to build himself back up!
When Madison suffers a violent head injury at the hands of her dick-headed partner Derek, Gabriel is granted a literal opening, re-emerging from her head to reassert himself as her only protector. Since the twins share a brain, he's easily able to influence regions of her cerebral cortex responsible for visual stimulus, resulting in the waking nightmares that she experiences. While she's in this psychogenic state of paralysis, Gabriel takes over her body and kills Derek, before exacting vengeance on everyone responsible for the surgical procedure and their separation in general. Because of this, at his core, Gabriel is basically an upset sibling, furious that his twin was able to live freely while he was condemned as a malignancy. Although his ability to speak through radio frequencies and manipulate light to create shadows is creepy, it's his overwhelming offensive power that makes him such a force to be reckoned with. In this warped physical state, Gabriel displays a surprising level of dexterity, speed, strength, and other strange supernatural powers.
I can't tell you how long I've waited for this.
Throughout the film, Gabriel showcases his electrokinetic abilities. Somehow able to manipulate electrical energy, he's seen emitting an electromagnetic pulse that is powerful enough to blow light bulbs, destroy electronic locks, and even cook pacemakers. And since he has no vocal cords, he can use his electrokinesis to speak through phones and radios by broadcasting his thoughts as radio waves, which are a type of electromagnetic radiation. Stranger still is his superhuman strength, even at an early age, enabling him to use Madison to attack people more than twice her size.
He's been telling me to do things, to hurt people.
Is that why you attacked Bobby Faye? But Bobby's twice your size.
Gabriel makes me strong.
Using her, he can kick through brick walls, cause compound fractures with a swipe, and even punch through people's torsos with his bare hands. Just as bewildering as Gabriel's strength is his agility, with the parasitic entity often dislocating every bone in Madison's body without injury to give him extreme levels of flexibility. Using this, Gabriel's able to scale walls, dodge a room full of bullets like Neo, and even take on several opponents at once. In addition to their super strength and agility, the twins are shown to have accelerated healing powers. The most consistent example of this is how quickly Madison's able to recover from Gabriel literally splitting a skull open when taking over her body. After he withdraws back into her cranium, the wound heals to the point that it's unnoticeable, with short-lived residual bleeding and headaches being the only side effects. This of course is in addition to a speedy recovery from the severe beating she received from the female inmates, as well as the gunshot wounds during the climax. But perhaps the most peculiar thing about Gabriel is that he's somehow an extremely skilled combatant. Despite his unorthodox style of movement, he's able to single-handedly wipe out damn near everyone in the Seattle Police Department, from inmates to the officers within the precinct. And since Gabriel was using Madison's body to commit its crimes, both twins essentially possess the same powers.
No, it's too heavy. It was always my body. If he was strong enough to do this, then so am I.
Although Gabriel's medical origins are somewhat realistic, the pair's supernatural powers are baffling, with very little explanation in the narrative as to how they came by them. While the supernatural link between real-world twins seems like an obvious source of inspiration, I think that it's likely that their collective powers have a demonic origin. The identity of Madison's biological father is never revealed, and her mother's religious family cite the pregnancy as being a transgression against God. Combined with Madison's early habit of calling Gabriel the devil, these plot points seem to support that the otherworldly powers stem from a Rosemary's Baby type of situation. In the end, the same mental tricks that Gabriel utilizes to paralyze his twin is used against him by Madison, who finally manages to overpower him in her mind. Madison then locks Gabriel away in a mental prison, vowing to be prepared should he ever return. However, in a final lingering shot, we see a light bulb and hear the electricity being manipulated around it, signaling that Gabriel might still have supernatural influence over the world. Well, that's all for today, folks. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit like and subscribe to stay up to date on all my content. And yeah, if you have any other suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. As always, it's been a pleasure. Nihat here with Film Comics Explained. Thanks for stopping by.